Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for February the 5th through the 11th, 2024. So, as we begin, I'd just like to welcome everyone back to this weekly series and to thank you also for your support and to also welcome anyone who might be new to our angelic wisdom, to extend a warm welcome to you. So I'm just taking a few deep breaths as I just was before I was beginning to record. I had put my phone on do not disturb in order to do it, and I hope I have done so. Yes, now, and it's actually quite around about 4:30 in the evening on Friday, and I was about to start, and I looked at my phone to see that I had gotten messages from both of my brothers. So that my baby brother, who had the stroke in August, is fine. Let's just say that um, for now, as far as what we know, but he had been taken to the emergency room. He has a urinary tract infection. Um, you know, Unfortunately, they're just not. He did not get great services that he was supposed to get once he came out of the inpatient rehab. They were supposed to set up all of these services for helping him to, bathe and the physical therapies and all of this. And so he had, and for the first time, an outpatient service. And we're talking about since August, it's probably September, maybe October, he probably hasn't had what he was supposed to get. And so he had an outpatient assessment for physical therapy and all the occupational therapy stuff. And I think it exhausted him. And so they said he was kind of weak, and they sent him to the hospital emergency room. And there they discovered, for some reason, this urinary tract infection. So they're dealing with that. His voice was the clearest. It sounded like himself before the stroke for the very first time. So I don't know what miracle um, happened through this process. Like, one problem seems to, in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, created something else, something that I'm happy to hear, is his normal voice, his normal ability to speak. So I will try to focus. So just, continue to send my brother Gary healing prayers, if any of you are out there who are able to do so. And I think he needs a lot of emotional support as well. Um, you know, because in this world of today, many of us are just, having to deal with our healthcare issues without the support of immediate family, right? So my brother has two children, but um, now he's divorced. So, this puts him on his own. And I think so, just a lot of things that he's dealing with. And so I was just going to ask you to continue to keep me and my brother in particular and our family in your prayers. So, with that said, if you are new here, welcome. And I'd like to invite you to subscribe, select the all notification bell, dislike, and leave your comments, how the reading affects you or has impacted you. This is always great to hear. And I think it's also a great witness for others what you get from this experience. And it might be something that they also resonated with. And, sometimes you might think to yourself, God, is this really, what I'm supposed to be getting? and then somebody else might pick up on it, or something you didn't see it in a certain way and they saw it and now you get it. So it's just all um, healing in such a powerful way. And if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. If you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you can do that as well. My PayPal me link for the Angel School or Angelic Wisdom will be in the description area below this video. So all those links will be there. I did record the general monthly angel reading. So I'd like to invite you all to really check those out, those of you who are hearing this recording, and it will be the very first link in the description area below this video. Also, I'll be attempting to work on the monthly angel scopes. There's just so much going on. And so I'll let you know, or you'll know when they're out, because you should have, if you're subscribed, it will notify you when they come out. And just make sure that your notifications on your phone for YouTube are there as well, or turned on. So I told everybody this year that I was trying to, through the Moonology practice by Yasmin Boland, and she's the creator of several decks on, this might be her own trademark, Moonology, the term, as I see here in the book. And I was just reading, I think I skipped a week in the journal, and this was going to be my way, one, because I had been told by the angels several years ago, so just look how long it takes me to act on their wisdom, to learn about the moon cycles and all that. And so I'm also using this as my way to kind of just, do little bits of research. I'm not to do any formal studying yet with astrology, but just this very basic stuff. So when we get to the reading, and I'll get a little bit into that, or maybe I'll get into it right now, just a little bit. My brain is a little scattered. However, one of the important things for this week is that there's going to be a super new moon in Aquarius. So last month's new moon was in Leo, and now this one is in Aquarius. And we just, on January 21st, I think it was, had that big shift where Pluto, no, wait, I'm going to forget. Of course I am. Yeah, I think it was Pluto going into Aquarius. And so there was that. And I may have that wrong. But I just maybe I should check. I wrote so much about it in my journals, and then I probably forgot, but I'm pretty sure the date is correct for one. And yeah. So yeah, it was Pluto in Aquarius. So anyway, so this super new moon is really going to have a sort of an interesting impact. So with Aquarius, sort of the humanitarian and being your authentic self, right? So the energies, and I've been kind of noticing myself where people are bringing me these really great ideas about what I'm doing, right? Some things that to bring it to my attention, and so this is all about doing yourself, like doing you, right? And really opening up to this expansive time where this is it. So this is also something about the Chiron influences at this time with the North Node aspects and so forth. And so I'll just read you what she says here. She said, so with the North Node is all about taking risks that support your growth. Put the wounded healer Chiron and North Node together, and it's safe to say that if you want healing right now, you're going to need to push out of your comfort zone. And she goes on to say something about the when you combine the Chiron North Node energy with this super new moon, it's a time to be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and in doing so, heal yourself. And adding to that, influencing others as well. So it's very powerful. So, like, for me, the thing that stuck out the most was truly being authentic, truly being true to your heart in every way, and not letting anything sort of prevent that or inhibit you in any way. And so it might be that you have to sort of push yourself a little bit, to not sort of recoil into those insecurities or those any shyness about really letting other people see you, or as they're right in front of me, not letting people, not hiding your light under a bushel, so they write the word strengths. So, whatever it is right now, where your heart and your soul truly shines, what are your true strengths? And I was just saying that in the February video about, as an example, like, I've always known that doing this was always my strength since I was a child. I mean, we all have talents, multiple talents, and I have music and so many other things. But this has been the thing, if I really want to own up, and I see the word confession now, and this is part of that, is being truthful. So when they write the word confession, it means to speak your truth. Don't hide who you are just so other people can be comfortable. And that doesn't mean that you should also go out and put yourself and sort of try to incite others with, well, let's be careful how we say that, right? But the thing is that you don't go and stand in a group of people who all of the complete opposite of you, and shout to them, "I'm different." Just as a general analogy, you just need to reinforce it for yourself. First, you need to know the truth for yourself. They write the word clarity. This truth, this confession is about you being clear with yourself. And I can tell you that doing this, I feel completely normal because I'm in good company here, right? Everybody's, supporting me. All of you who are watching me, you're supporting me and doing what I do. But when I went home, I kept being asked, what do I do? And I'd already told myself I'm not letting anybody get in my way. However, I found myself being triggered and trying to figure out, like, how to explain this to them, and feeling like I wanted a floor, the hole to open up in the floor, or something, like some big event to kind of distract from that question and move us on to something else. It's not easy. But it doesn't matter that how it might be received out there. And this is a sort of an Aquarius energy as well. Like, it doesn't matter what to an Aquarius, what everybody is thinking. It's about what's real for you. What's real for you. And it's also about, like, knowing and really acknowledging, this is sort of like another confession, like, what you've really done. Like, I've never really admitted to myself, when I hear people say how much I've done for them, or clients might write me an email, or some of you might write me in the comments, and I do read them, even though I don't always respond or like. I do see them, and it's like it's it it doesn't always register to me. It doesn't. Um, I'm so focused, and I'm just being so honest with you, so that you get what they're trying to get you to understand as well. Um, I'm just so focused on what I haven't done, or what I think I've failed to do in my life, that I don't see it. So therefore, when somebody says to me, or "What are you doing now?" I can't stand in my power and say with confidence. I say it. I do say it. I tell them I'm crazy. No, just joking. I mean, I tell them I'm a spiritual counselor, or a spiritual life coach, or whatever. It always changes, because I can't even decide that, and that's one of the things I'm going to work on. However, um, I realize that, and I'm just stressing the point, because so many times we all want to go out and just, when we think, okay, I'm going to take my power back, and I'm just going to confront you out there. And that's not going to do anything for you, because what it's going to do is stir up a whole lot of negativity, which now will be projected back at you, because what you're getting from them is your own problem with dealing with and recognizing and feeling all kinds of squeamish about it. That which is your strength, that which lights you up, who you truly are. And I have a lot of things, my sexuality, so many things, and all of it's the same. It's the same conversation. And it's until we turn within and maybe this is where the healing needs to start. Not when you can say it to yourself, when you can acknowledge not only what it is, but in all the ways that being you has been powerful for others. Because it's also important for us to understand in that Aquarius light, that idea of service, empowerment, that being who we are is empowering for others to witness, because you now become a reflection, or at least the mirror that might reflect these qualities in a positive way for them to develop. Some people, just like you and I know, I will look at somebody who's truly being themselves in their role similar to this, and wish that I could feel the same way, or that I could acknowledge it in the same way. And that work cannot be done with others. It just has to be done with the self. And it's not like, you can't just say, "Well, I'll just tell myself I'm wonderful." No, you have to tell yourself, you have to show yourself, one or the other. you know, like, you have to really be honest with, okay, this is who I am, and then be honest with, this is how this has impacted the lives of others. This is my legacy. And this occurred to me in this week, like, wow, if I died tomorrow, this would be my legacy. Would I be ashamed of the legacy, or would I really be proud of it? And I'm the only one that will ever know that at that last breath. And just to be a little morbid, but at the last breath, I will be the only one that knows which one I chose. And I'll be the only one to be surprised by it too in that last moment, because you keep wavering back and forth. Um, It is so hard if for us to be who we truly are meant to be. And as long as we cannot, we will find ourselves roaming, and chasing our own tails, because you are chasing your own tail, because what you're chasing is really you, and you don't have to chase it, because all you have to do is turn around and face yourself and embrace yourself and love it all. Love it all. We need time. We need time because we can't keep making decisions. And I'm talking to myself, so I'm talking to you. I'm just, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there, right? But we need time to get used to feeling powerful, appreciating our power. And she mentioned one of the quotes from Marianne Williams in Return to Love, and she didn't. I think it's our greatest. It's our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are, and I'm paraphrasing from here, powerful or incredibly powerful. I don't know what the words were there, but that's what we're really afraid of, and that's what needs to heal, because the that's the cornerstone of our ascension. That's the cornerstone of our world shifting into the higher consciousness. Now, it's already there. If you tune into the earth, if you really truly tune into the earth's frequency, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel that there's something unfamiliar to your ego, but like a deep remembering of our true home, where everything was just oneness, pure, alive, potent, filled with optimism, total clarity, and total transparency. And this is available to us now. And this is why being true to your heart, being yourself, but acknowledging the legacy that you've left behind. Because if you, not one of you, would try to stand before me now and tell me, which I would have done to you, that you've done nothing. All you've done is either messed up everything in your life or had a whole slew of successes, but you're both still unfulfilled and disappointed, mostly. It's because you haven't acknowledged your true power, which lies in what are your true strengths and talents. It's about who you really are and how you, and the one consistent aspect of you that always shows up with confidence, no matter how unconfident you are about a whole bunch of other things, that it just colors who you think you are and the waste that you think that your existence has left behind. The biggest lie that's ever been told is because we're not being truly honest with what we've done, because we're not willing to take the time to step back and look, because we don't want to believe it. We just don't want to believe it, because we are believing the template of success stories that are being fed to us. So again, this is the problem when we're all buying into the same marketing strategies. About everything is marketed today. Even what I'm doing with you started to really disgust me. How everything is marketed. And I've hated this since I was a child. I know we need it, and I know I could probably be doing more, but it's just like I need I need some real here. And we've been marketed that success is this. And this is the problem with marketing, just without this is the problem with marketing, is just in a neutral, very neutral way. It's an outside tool. It's not your inner being's power. Everything outside of you is a tool. It's not power. The only power that exists is within the self, within the container of the self. And that is all the great and the worst moments of your life. When they come together, they become strengths, power. Your strengths are carved out of your failures, your disappointments, your power, etc., your talents. It comes from this sifting and working through and shining on and shining through, etc. Everything I could think of. That you don't have to market, because your power is an attracting factor. It is a point of attraction that is an attracting factor. And all you need to do is shine your clearest awareness of who you truly are in all the ways I just spoke about. And you will market yourself through the power of attraction, the law of attraction. There will be no interference within the inner dialogue of the self with the true self to inhibit the signals of your desires, to inhibit the signals of your being, your strengths, your power, your love. It's all the same. And so we have the Archangel Sandalphon. And it says clearly on the card, tune into your divine potential. Bring the world into harmony. This is how you do this. By being true to yourself in all the ways I just spoke about, you tap into that potential. But as you tap into it, it has to be released. The moment you break through, you tap in, it's released. And then what you're releasing out there is not toxic. It's divine. And because it's divine, it creates peace, harmony, balance, harmlessness, love, joy, pleasure, compassion, and the gifts that it also activates are all the facets of your intuition and the talents that become the channel through which all these wonderful qualities are carried out, or may I say, marketed. So this week, really tune in. Now, Archangel Sandalphon works with your Earth Star chakra. And so the Earth Star chakra not only connects you to the earth, but it also roots your potential into the earth and sort of the network, or how do I say this? It roots your potential into the earth, which is Lady Gaia, and her soul, her mission for your soul. So all this is integrated. And then you start to move and act upon, whether I'm saying the word goal, then your goal becomes to live to the fullest who you truly are, so that your divine potential and your soul mission to the planet are all activated as one. So that you're no longer like split hairs going in all directions, but you are moving in with purpose for the greater good and whole. I'm just loving the feeling of all the things that I'm feeling. It's just beautiful. And I love this card so much because each and every one of you is as pure as this lamb. Your intentions all come out of this goodness. It's okay that you struggle. It's okay that you've gotten it wrong, that you sometimes messed it up for other people. You might have hurt somebody else. But the reason, the initial, or the impetus for what you have tried to do was never any of those things. You don't have to linger there. Give it a break. Give it a rest. You deserve to be set free. And if you really want to make things better, I'm not going to say make it right, better. If you really want to make things better, then you have to stop killing your soul, killing your heart. When I think about the Three of Swords with all the swords going through the heart, these negative thoughts, these toxic thoughts are preventing growth. It's preventing you from giving birth, because that's what the number 3 numerology means. It's the air sign. It's piercing the heart. So it's your thoughts and your beliefs that are killing your dreams. People think of the card as a form of a betrayal, but it's a betrayal of self, because it's the swords, the mind. It's your mind. So let it go and focus on how you can make the world better, not just the situation you're trying. See, you can't try to make things right, because that's a selfish goal. You only want to do that because you don't want to be wrong, you see. But when you want to make things better for the greater good, for the greater whole, then you are restoring balance that you deserve and everyone else deserves. This is an act of love, because you're not doing it because of the things that went wrong. You're starting clear, free. You have a truce with yourself, a blank slate, and you're gonna focus on something that's beyond all of that petty, because all of that's petty. It's all ego. Your ego, their ego. So you're gonna sort of go outside of that and say, this is why I was truly called to be here. And I've been delaying it, wasting my time on this, and I'm gonna start there. And if I start there, that high frequency dream or goal, I'm gonna make things better all the way around, as best as I can do better and make things better. So the card for the middle of the week is the Sun. And think of shining your gifts everywhere by first making peace with yourself. This is how you start to let that sun, inner sun, the power of your divinity, your inner sun, Sonsun. This is how you allow your inner sun to shine. This is how you are freed and liberated, and your gifts and your power transform. It will bring about real change. Now, isn't it interesting that we have the lion and the lamb? Sort of as when the lion lays down with the lamb, there'll be peace. And then, isn't it also interesting that we have the sun and the strength card, which is what we've been talking about? That I didn't think about, but that's the bigger point too. But the other point, astrologically, is that this card represents the sign of Leo, and then the sun is the ruling planet or star for that sign. So this whole thing is about giving the other things a rest, giving all that ego, which is this is ego, all of this is ego. Really, all these cards could be sometimes seen as ego, because the lower vibration of Leo, or the sun, is sort of the biggest example of ego in its lowest vibration. In its highest vibration, it's aspirational, right? And it's like, if you put all of this stuff behind the ego, like, I don't like people, I don't want anybody to not like me, I want everybody to love me, so I'm going to start to do this, and no, that's ego. When you move over here, you're seeing that you have the opportunity, once you put this all behind you, to let your inner divinity, your inner sun, of course, son or daughter, shine through. To let that power shine through. And when it's power with wisdom and power with love, that's what I feel like true strength is when you stop warring with yourself, with those parts of you that are not always pretty or gentle, but that you see them as enhancing who you are, without contrast, without all the dueling aspects of ourselves. There would need no way for you to choose or to see who you really are. Both aspects of the spectrum reflect, in a way, the other. They influence, shape, reveal the other is even better. Because how would I know what my strengths were if I didn't have weaknesses? That's just one goal, one challenge, one opportunity, in the way that they challenge each other to be better. The duality, the contrast. And the fifth dimensional mindset understands this and appreciates it. So we all struggle. We struggle to be true to ourselves. That's never going to be completely gone. because then there would be no checks and balances in the sense of I would never explore just how much further my power has grown, my love, my ability to love, my ability to shine with more clarity and more transparency who I truly am. I would never be able to recognize when there is a lack of harmony and the need for more, etc. Now, I pull the card from the bottom of the deck, and this is so interesting because it's the Ten of Wands, and I do love this card for a particular reason, because I love that you see that light shining in the distance through the thickness of the branches. It's a very hairy sort of card, and it's like it's sort of telling us, look, right now you just feel like you just can't see the forest for the trees. You don't have a clue what your earth mission is. You don't even know who you are right now. And that's the huge lie. Because if you follow your life from the beginning, there has been an inherent gift and strength. It shows up every time. Maybe you've allowed the marketing of society, or the outer reality, to tell you, to help you, well, to cause you to underestimate it or overlook it because it wasn't listed there. So I encourage you to look, because that's what's going to take the courage first. The courage to look at where you think you are a real oddball, or to look at a thing that everybody says is insignificant. It's no big deal. That's petty. That's not going to do anything for you. That's not going to make you any money, etc. That's a hobby. See, we all know these things, but we have never heard it with this kind of conviction and support for the underdog way, so to speak, if I can put it that way. Hobbies. Don't take that serious. All right? So if you can't figure it out, then look at hobbies. Look at the things that we don't take seriously. The world out there doesn't take seriously. Because you've been feeling the way you feel because you did it too. And now you're so practiced at being ashamed of it that you're walking around confused. You're chasing your own tail because you refuse to see that the tail you're chasing is your own. The one that you truly admire. The legacy that you've already been leaving, a trail of crumbs? Probably not. If they're crumbs, they fed hungry souls. And if I were to lay my head down and I thought about it, and it was my last breath today, I could say, you were my legacy. Maybe my obituary was be very humble and no one would even recognize it, the persons who actually did it, because they probably would think very little of it, or they'd be too embarrassed to mention it. So that's where your bread and butter is, in an ego way of saying it. But that's where your heart is a divine way of saying it. But either way, you're not clueless. And with this, I hope that you engage your potential, that you have a real talk, that you're honest, confess. I like you. I love you. You've done some good stuff. We've had some good times. We've met some really great people. I enjoy this stuff. I love this stuff. Be real. Want to be real? Be true to yourself. You know, sort of blow up your, it's sort of like the idea of like your heart is a newspaper, you know, toot your own horn, toot your own heart, toot it, toot your own strengths, because they come from your heart. Toot who you are, but you got to do it to yourself first. Because until you are right within yourself about who you truly are, the power that you've been ignoring, not acknowledging all this time, you're gonna be met with people who are going to try to knock all that down. They're not doing it on purpose. They're just doing what you do. And then you'll start to see that the revenue flows or flourishes because now you can see all the opportunities, or somebody might start to present all the opportunities that you're missing out on, because and you'll actually be able to hear them and receive it for the first time, even though you've heard it a million times already. You see. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings. Have a powerful week. Have a powerful week being you. God bless you.